two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title?
You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Kind of like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might around and beat Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao's surprise decision to step back into the ring to fight Mario Barrios has stirred up strong opinions in the boxing world. Promoter Eddie Hearn gave Pacquiao credit for still having the skills to handle top 20 contenders. But he also raised a red flag about Pacquiao's age and time away from boxing, reminding everyone that at 45, he might not be the same fighter we remember. Reactions are mixed. Some fans are excited to see the legend again, while others worry this return could damage both his health and his legacy. Barrios...
It's a very contentious subject, like, you know, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago, or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, you know, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit different to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. You know, and that's why, you know, we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up. You know, people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, you know, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
Pacquiao's comeback has stunned fans worldwide, especially since he retired in 2021 after losing to Yordenis Ugás. Now, at 46, he's set to face Mario Barrios this July for the WBC welterweight title. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed the fight and praised Pacquiao's status as a living legend, noting that he wants to go out as a champion. Even with concerns about his age and inactivity, Pacquiao is focused and determined to make history once more.
In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Yeah, massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and you know, it was so out of left field. You know, Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugás, the very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugás. And
trainer Greg Hackett was blunt in his take on Pacquiao's return against Barrios. He said if this fight had happened a few years ago, Pacquiao would have dominated. But now, Hackett believes time has caught up with the icon. At 45, Pacquiao has likely lost some of that famous speed and endurance. Hackett doesn't view this as a serious contest. It feels more like a money-driven event than a real clash of elite fighters.
Sound like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might around and beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugás, the Ugás fight?
Yeah, like, yeah. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like this. And that's a fight you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans are going to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You, Stanionis, you, Boobs, you, Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So all right, I'll fight Pacquiao. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on that hunt for the rest of them straps.
Former champion Tim Bradley echoed similar concerns, saying the fight looks more like a cash grab than a legacy moment. Bradley suggested that when retired fighters return, it's often because they need the money. Although the WBC belt adds importance, he feels the main reason behind Pacquiao's return is financial. He sees Barrios, a younger and sharper fighter, as someone who could seriously test or even stop Pacquiao. Bradley questioned whether Pacquiao should be stepping back into the ring at all.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugás. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well. Can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugás fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios.
Unlike the critics, Mario Barrios remains calm and confident. Ahead of the fight, he made it clear that while he respects Pacquiao, he isn't intimidated. Barrios plans to use his youth reach and smart game plan to stay in control. For him, this isn't just about a paycheck, it's the biggest opportunity of his life and a chance to make history by beating a true legend.
When you see the Manny Pacquiao fight, what can you learn from that fight?
You know, it shows that, you know, combination punchers, you know, that's how Pacquiao, you know, was landing, you know, his punches, combinations. And, you know, it just shows you that, you know, he is a great fighter, but you know, I'm going into this camp, coming into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan, and I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
The announcement of Pacquiao's return completely shocked the boxing scene. Fans are still wrapping their heads around the fact that he's fighting again years after his 2021 retirement. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman confirmed that all the details are locked in for Pacquiao to challenge for the welterweight championship.
The WBC President Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09 Ricky Hatton all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman, talk about this.
What makes this comeback even more powerful is that Pacquiao is once again fighting for the WBC belt, the same organization where he first made his mark on the world stage. He began as a world champion at flyweight, and now he's looking to close his career as WBC welterweight champion. It's a meaningful full-circle moment. This return feels personal, not just about legacy. Many believe Barrios was chosen for a reason. He might be the perfect opponent to help set the stage for one last huge fight, possibly against Gervonta Tank Davis.
So basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugás.
And that's cry me a river, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo fight.
Pacquiao pulls off a win against Barrios. A showdown with Gervonta Davis could become one of boxing's most anticipated fights. 2 powerful, fast southpaws with loyal fan bases squaring off would be a global event, and
Gervonta Tank Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight, all right? He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year, so he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who they know.
Despite his age and long break, a lot of fans still believe Pacquiao can take out Barrios. His unmatched record, legendary career, and multiple world titles in 8 weight classes have earned him greatest of all-time status. Beating Barrios could silence doubters and remind everyone why he's a boxing legend. But many aren't convinced. They compare this fight to Floyd Mayweather's exhibition bouts, saying it feels like a cash-focused show more than a real title match.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great and a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. Why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold up the welterweight division a little bit longer.
A growing number of fans are tuning out. Their problem isn't just the stakes, it's Pacquiao's age. At nearly 46, people worry his timing, reflexes, and durability aren't what they used to be. Many just don't want to see another legend put through a fight that doesn't match their prime.
This is a fight that, is almost finalized from per 210 Boxing TV from Instagram. He says, shocking news, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is a done deal for the summer. The date either will be July 19th or 26th on Amazon Prime, and the fight probably won't be on pay-per-view. And location, Las Vegas or San Antonio. So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, there's 210 Boxing is reporting that this fight is a done deal. I'm not going to believe it 100% until I see PBC announce it and everything per se. But I mean, this is a fight that has been in talks from a lot of people, from that side, saying that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao have been negotiating the fight and everything. And I'm gonna just be real, honestly, man. I don't care for this fight because I don't care to see Manny Pacquiao back fighting again in the ring. Like it serves no justice seeing Manny Pacquiao after we just seen him fight in the exhibition and was not looking good at all in this exhibition. Like, he did not look good in the exhibition fight at all. So I really don't want to see Manny Pacquiao fight Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, I mean, he gets a big payday and he gets to put a legend on his resume. And I think Mario Barrios would definitely win this fight because I just don't think Manny Pacquiao has any gas left in the tank to fight, at an elite level.
This trend of legends coming back for big paydays is becoming all too familiar. Floyd Mayweather did it. Mike Tyson did it. Now Pacquiao's doing it too. Fans are beginning to feel let down, viewing these comebacks as more about money than competition. Some are already calling this fight predictable. With hungry younger fighters like Barrios waiting in line, people expect them to win. Fans still love Pacquiao, but they fear that these late career returns are chipping away at his once perfect image.
Manny Pacquiao he hasn't been a pro in a minute, and they're coming back to fight someone for a belt. Barrios technically should win, but this isn't fair. Like, we could have had Brian Norman Jr. versus Barrios, but we're getting Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios. I don't think anyone wants to see that. Manny Pacquiao is past his prime. He's not in his fighting years no more. And then can he make 147? And then you're letting him fight for the belt. To me, that doesn't make any type of sense. And then if he beats Barrios, let's say hypothetically he beats him, is he gonna unify? Because Boots, that's sitting in the lamp to slaughter. Brian Norman, that's sitting in the lamp to slaughter. Like, this doesn't make no sense. These young fighters, they can really hurt. They can really hurt Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao couldn't even handle Ugás. Just think about how this is all playing out. It doesn't make sense. This fight shouldn't be made. Like, there's other fighters that Barrios could fight. Like, he could try to fight Boost because I think unification is trump mandatories.
Barrios' trainer is heading into this fight with complete faith in his fighter. In recent interviews, he emphasized how serious they're taking this opportunity. He said they're not treating Pacquiao lightly. They're preparing as if they're facing the best version of him. According to the coach, Barrios embraces challenges and is
mentioned. A lot of people are asking what's going on. Are the rumors true? Is it possibly Spence? Is it Pacquiao? Who is Mario Barrios sharing the ring with next?
You know what? He's put himself in a great position through hard work. He's a tremendous story. When he turned pro and what he's been able to accomplish being a two-time world champion. And I always told everybody, he fights all comers. When we fought Gervonta Davis, all my hats off to Gervonta Davis. But it was very difficult for us to make the weight. We were going to move up in weight. They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division, and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Petirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots Ennis.
Sean Gibbons, Pacquiao's advisor, said picking Mario Barrios wasn't random, it was a meaningful choice. Barrios holds the WBC title, the same group that gave Pacquiao his very first world championship. Gibbons said reclaiming the belt would be the perfect way for Pacquiao to wrap up his incredible career. This isn't just about fighting or cash, it's about ending his story with purpose. Whether he wins or not, the meaning behind this fight will stay with fans forever.
We have Sean Gibbons here, Manny Pacquiao's right-hand man, advisor, head of MP Promotions. Sean, I know you spent a lot of time with Manny Pacquiao over recent weeks and months. There's a lot of conversations about Manny's comeback. What is the latest that you could offer and the update around the potential matchup with Mario Barrios?
Well, the latest is Manny's fighting an exhibition on 28th in Japan. So, you don't want to really look past that. But if he's successful there, Mario Barrios. We've talked about Conor Benn, which I believe was a great fight. That would have been a tremendous fight. We could have done it in England. We could have done it in the US. We could have done it in Riyadh season. But the fact that he wasn't able to come off the suspension, that put the brakes on that. So that brought us to Mario Barrios. He's the WBC world champion. Manny's first belt ever, many years ago, was a WBC belt. So